What is poppin', y'all? We are back with another episode of the Squid Game Aftermath Podcast Season 2, where I, DeAndre from Season 1, go through the players of the challenge, Season 2, with about their games and what really went down in the game and get their point of view. And so today, I got a very, very special guest, my man. He made it real far in the game. He was sneaking and sliming his way through without a trace, without a doubt. And then he got caught up in a slide. And then I saw, we gonna get there. But without further
We're gonna get
introduction,
there.
I'm gonna introduce my man, player 3-4.
What's going on? Like you said, I was slipping on through. No one saw me coming, for sure. Yeah, man, I'm doing good.
No one saw him coming, man. Drake, it's a pleasure to have you on here. Drizzy Drake in the building.
Yeah.
Drake, I'm gonna go through your player profile real quick and
Let's do
then
it.
talk to you about some of these things. So you are a teacher and bus driver.
I am. Not really, I mean, I've been a teacher and a bus driver for a little over 2 years, but, before that, like, I mean, I've done, like, retail, I've done a bunch of stuff before that, but, I pretty much just got into it from, like, because of COVID. Like, I went to school. I got my BFA in musical theater, so that's why I went. I went to college, did all that, and then like right when I graduated, COVID hit, and then theater shut down for like a year or two. So I couldn't do what I wanted to do necessarily. And we had like stuff like I had like stuff lined up. None of it all fell through. So I was like, well, what can I do right now? Because I was also working out like a movie theater at the time, and that shut down. So I was like, I have nothing. Everything like got kicked out of my dorm. Had to end up staying with my wife's brother, and we stayed in like a small little room, and it was crazy. So yeah, I just like kind of, I have a lot of siblings. I have 6 siblings. I was like, I'm good with kids. Like, I could definitely like see myself, working with kids, and pretty much did it my whole life, and that's what dove me into it. And the bus driving just came with it. They were like, yeah, you gotta drive the bus too. And I was like, I'm not trying to do that. But I mean, it's easier
What?
than it looks. I would say that. Like I did it. I was like, okay, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Yeah.
Okay, I like it. We need good bus drivers nowadays, It's hard to find a good
Hmm.
bus driver. So, hopefully they paying you extra for that because I ain't never heard of a school that's making you be a teacher and a bus driver before. That's a first
Look,
for me.
now it's all a little package deal. They said, I'm not paying you nothing. That's how I went on Squid Game.
I feel you. So you're in North Carolina. You adopted 4 cats.
I did. Well, to be honest, like me and my wife, we only wanted one cat, and we were like, okay, let's get like a pet, and we went to like an adoption center, and we found like a cat that we wanted, but she was like a bonded pair with her sister, and we're like, oh, dang, like. Again, and they pretty much talked us up and was like, yeah, if you're trying to get a kitten, you have to get them as a bonded pair because you can't be they can't be them by themselves basically. I was like, okay, well we'll get 2 then, and then we had 2, and then one day, this is probably like a couple months later, I was driving down like the highway, and there was a car in front of me, and they basically threw something out their window, and it looked like an animal. So I pulled over, and it was a little white kitten, a white and black kitten, and I brought him home and like washed him off. And it turned out to be an all white cat, but it looked white and black because he was so dirty. And we just ended up keeping him and like nursing him back to health. And then we're like, well, dang, now he needs a friend because the sisters are so close. Now he's by himself. So we had to get him a friend. So that's why we ended up with 4. But like that's the max. I only wanted 1, so like we're not getting any more. Like that's it.
Okay, man. They said, look, I can't do more than that now. That's
Yeah,
it.
I can barely
That's
do the 4.
exactly. Well, praise you, man. Praise you. Somebody got to take in these cats. I know I couldn't do it. Well, so I was going to ask why you auditioned for Squid Game, the challenge, the season 2, but you said obviously because you bus driver and whatnot. Like you can elaborate on things if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, like I watched the first season, obviously, and last episode they were like apply. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do that. Why not? Because like I'm a theater guy. I audition for things all the time. I do self tapes all the time. Easy. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. I literally went upstairs, filmed a little 1 minute video. And at the time, it's funny because I had a blonde buzz cut at the time. So I had my head shaved and it was blonde. So I think I just looked unique in my video because I don't know if my video was all that interesting, but I think I looked unique and they were like, oh, he looks interesting. We're going to pass him through. But obviously I didn't hear anything for like what, 7 months. I like applied for it in December 2023. I didn't hear anything back until like into July of 2024. So yeah, and that's when like the whole process started. But like my main thing for wanting to be in the show is like, for one, that's just a cool opportunity. Like, imagine like if you get onto like a show. Like, I wasn't even really thinking about the money. I was like, man, that'd be cool to be on like TV. That's cool. But also, I mean, money. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the majority of people who audition for Squid Game are struggling in some way. I have my own struggles, like family. My dad like raised us. He's a single dad of 6 kids. Like we have a lot of, I have a lot of like stuff going up that like we I went through, and I just wanted to really give back to my dad and my family, and just say, because he's still working to this day to provide for like some of my siblings who are still at home, and it's a lot. So like I just want to be able to provide for him, provide for my family, provide for my wife, and just like that's the main goal in life, just be comfortable, like not having to like struggle and work and work and work for build, build a bill, and then like having no money because the second I get paid, all goes to bills. So like it's trying to be comfortable and have my family be comfortable. That was my main goal. So yeah, yeah, yeah.
Facts, man. That's the dream right there, man. We got to take care of our family and loved ones first, and then everything will also follow suit. So definitely, I understand easily on that.
Hmm.
So you go through the audition process, you make it through, and congratulations, you make it on the show. And so that last night in North Carolina before you get on the plane to London, tell me how you feeling.
I was, to be honest, I'll be like, I was very stressed out because I didn't know if it was legit. Like, I know, like, I've never done anything like that. So I was like, dude, like, I feel like I'm about to, like, they're about to get me. I might go missing. I don't know. I was like scared because I was like, I've never done this. But like, for the extent of the like interview process, I had to do so much stuff. So I was like, if it is a scam or whatever, I get kidnapped. Like, they deserve to kidnap me because that was a very thorough, like, thing I had to go through for them to like get me there. But yeah, I was nervous, and obviously, but it's crazy because like I take that leap, I go, I show up at the airport, and it's funny because the second I walked to like I guess the area where everyone was meeting up, I wasn't even sure where to go. But I walked, and somebody literally came up to me and was like, "Squid Game, Squid Game." And I was like, "Oh, we're just blurting this out, okay? Yeah." And they're like, "Right here, right here." And they were just like outly talking about it. I was like, I don't think we're supposed to be doing that. But yeah, no, I mean, it was a lot of emotions. Definitely like, I've never really been from home. I had to get that's my first time getting a passport. I've never been away from home. I've never really gone anywhere like outside of the States. So it's like, a big, big leap for me to do something like that for sure. So excited, but also nervous.
Glad you did take the leap of faith, and a lot of good things can come from that. And so you get over to London and you spend some time in the hotel. It's the last night in the hotel before you get in the dorms. Now, how you feeling?
Yeah, even more stressed out because they specifically told us, they said, we're going to knock on your door. It was like the night of, we're going to bed. They're going to wake us up in the morning. We don't know what time. They won't tell us. But they were like, we're going to knock on your door. If you miss that knock, we're not going to knock again. So if you sleep through it, just know we're not knocking again. If you miss that bus, you miss that bus. So I didn't go to bed. I just couldn't. I was like, I can't go to bed right now because what if by chance I didn't have my phone? I can't set an alarm. I was like, I'm just gonna stay up because if I miss that knock, I will. I don't know if I could live with myself if I like slept through that and went all the way there to just get sent back home because I do know some people who did sleep through the knock and didn't get on the show. Oh,
Wow.
crazy.
Really?
Yep, yep. They had stand-ins and filler people who came just to fill a spot for people who couldn't get on the show. So there were people with different names who like specifically said like I don't remember what it said, but it was like basically a filler person for a person who can't get on the show. And there was a couple of them who I saw with the filler name tags who got onto the show because someone overslept and didn't get the bus. Crazy work. Crazy work.
That
So
is
yeah,
crazy work.
a lot of stress, but excitement. I was like, I was ready. I was pumped for sure.
Well, he woke up on time, got on the bus, and he's on his way.
I'm
And
on my
so you
way.
soon get into the dorms. Tell me your first initial thoughts when you got in the dorms.
Oh, I was so overwhelmed. So overwhelmed. Like I walked in and they sent us in groups, basically, like groups at a time. Because I know in the first season it was what, straight to red light, green light. And this one straight to the dorms, and we didn't know it was going to be like that. I thought we were going straight to a game. That did not happen. We went straight to the dorms, and I was one of the last groups to walk in. So by the time I walked in, there was at least like, I mean, there may have been one or two groups after me to come in, but like majority of the people were there. So it was probably at least like 400 people, like at that point. So I was very overwhelmed. Like I was trying to take in the scenery and be like, "Whoa, like this is crazy." But I don't know. I felt obligated to try to start talking to people immediately because I'm like, "Oh, this is what we're here for. Let me walk around and see who I know." I obviously already knew some familiar faces from like the hotel, so I just went around talking, But yeah, it was a lot, and it was hard to remember anyone's names, anyone's numbers. I didn't really remember anyone's anything. I just was like, "Hey, what's up? I'm Drake." You probably won't remember that. I'm pretty sure I went up to the same people multiple times because I forgot already. Like it was insane, dude.
Yeah, no, all those people in that crowded space, you're gonna forget right away. And so you're gonna introduce yourself many times again and again and
Hmm.
again. But soon the guards come out and they announce that you must either get on one or two sides, a red X or the blue O. Tell me what you picked and why did you decide to pick it?
It's actually funny because I picked X, and I didn't really have a preference to be honest. But my closest friend in the games was Sam, pink hair. That's how you remember. Player 352. She was my closest friend in there. And I also had another close friend in there. Her name's Jackie, and she was player 107. And we kind of made like a trio. Like it was us three, and we were like, we're gonna like basically make an alliance and like be together throughout these games. And I literally was like, Sam, like, what do y'all want to do? And Sam was like, I have a gut feeling about X because I think that twin is hotter. So we're gonna go to that side. We only went to that side because he said he was the hotter twin.
I'm
I was like,
crying.
okay, they look the same, but go off. So I just followed them. I was like, I'm not leaving the only people I know right now. I'm not about to go and O by myself. Like I'm going with them. So I just followed, and we settled there on X, and that's what happened.
Okay. Y'all picked the hotter twin to go with,
That's what she
Love
said,
Island settings. And,
right?
you guys leave the room and the O's stay in there. And soon they announce the game is counting. Whoever gets closest to 456 wins, and whoever gets furthest loses. How did you feel about hearing this was your game to play?
Hated it. Absolutely hated it. I thought that was the worst type of game we could have ever done because for one, like the fate is not in my like the fate's not in my hands. I can't do anything. So sure I could speak up and talk, but everyone's talking over everybody. Everyone's like it's so chaos. And I just didn't we literally sat against the wall and just prayed. Like we were just like there and be like, well, let's hope we make it through this because it's out of our hands and we literally can't do anything about it. So, they figured out what they were gonna do, and they did it, and we trusted the process, and I would say, like, after the counting was done, I felt good. I felt like they were, like, on point, and we actually gave ourselves a little bit of a, like a little wiggle room, so we pressed the I think they pressed the button, like, 2 seconds early just in case, but no, I felt good, so I was like, "There's no way we lost." I just didn't feel like we lost, but no. But yeah, it was, I feel like, the worst type of game. I felt so bad for the O's, 100% so bad because they didn't end up winning, and after I saw them all eliminated, I was like, "Dang, that could've been me so easy." Like, so easy, and then, like, I go all the way there and I leave the same day, like, that's at least if we did red light, green light, that's in my hands. If I mess up, that's on me. But for this game, like nothing. I'm just there. I'm just chilling, and then like I might get eliminated because I'm not doing anything. So it's yeah, not my favorite.
Yeah, no, that game was kind of lame to me as well, but I'm glad you made it through. The X's were successful and got the O cleared, and y'all make it to the dorms. And so when you get into the dorms, you see 431 come back in. How you feeling about that?
I, I didn't really feel anything about it at the time. I was just like, sweet, he's back. That's cool. I actually did talk to them. Like, we went onto the stage and we talked a little bit. And like, I got to, I really talked to Jacob, the twin that was on our team. I talked to him the most, just because he had tattoos. He was cool. Like, I was getting to know him. Roll, I didn't really talk to his brother, not that much, but he was there. I was like, that's cool. Like, glad he came back for you. But I was like, a little like, I was like, why is he back? Like, I obviously felt like there has to be a reason he's back or something must be going on because why is everybody else gone but him? It didn't make sense to me why he was back, but yeah. So I did talk to him, and as you could probably see, like they even showed like them talking to me and Jackie, because like they were asking us like they actually asked me too, like what I would do with the money and stuff, and then they moved to Jackie and asked her, but obviously we see what happened with that. Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was crazy. They soon get to work and they got to eliminate three people and they eliminate Jackie's, one of them, 107, 285, and 286. They are out of here and, it's on and popping after that. Everyone's up on the guards up and the
Yeah.
game has begun.
Yeah,
And so
same thing about
soon,
me going like, I hated it. Jackie's my friend though. That's the person I had the alliance with. Me, Jackie, and Sam. So we thought we were gonna make it through that night. So me, Jack, and Jackie had her jacket like right beside my bed. Like we were all sleeping in the same area. We're like, bet. And it's crazy because she died. They actually filmed it. They edited it weird. 'Cause she was actually the last to die. The twins died first, and then she died. They swapped it and edited. Yes, but Yeah, so she died. She hugged us and then she left. And she came back and gave me another hug. I had like ink all over my shirt. But I remember I went straight to her bed and they had already moved her jacket off and put somebody else's jacket on there. I thought the disrespect was crazy. Crazy.
That is crazy. That is crazy. What's going on, man? Show some respect to
That's what
107.
I'm saying. She's just trying to party
Well,
on a yacht. Come on.
I know ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't
Uh,
nothing wrong with that.
I'm saying.
I'm sure the twins have done it a time or two, and I've seen their Instagram. I'm sure they have. Well, soon you guys get ready to go to the next game, and you go into the white room, and they say you must divide in groups of 10. How do you decide to pick your 10?
So initially, like, obviously there was a lot of chaos going on. I knew I was going to stick with Sam because by that point Jackie was gone, so me and Sam were a duo. So I was like, we need to stick together, and be on the same team. So we started like just kind of walking around to see like, there were already groups formed of 10. So we kind of just like stumbled upon a group, which I'm so grateful we did because like it was such a cool group of people. I recognized like a couple of people from like the like Joel was there and he was like at the airport with me and everything. I recognized like a couple of people I knew. So like somewhat new, So I was like, okay, bet, like we're gonna stay here. We got our 10, and then we had to sit on the dots, and they like spread us out, and we had like our core group of 10. But yeah, we kind of just found each other. Like it wasn't really like anything crazy.
Wasn't nothing crazy, but the game was about to get crazy, and so soon
Yep.
y'all walk inside, and you see it's the six-legged pentathlon, and you're like, all right, but then the guards come through it, and they split y'all down the middle. How'd you feel when they did that?
I felt I don't know, like I had a feeling they were gonna do that only because they showed us a little glimpse of the little Rainbow Road, right? But the little, so we kind of knew what the game was before we got in there because they showed us a little sneak peek, and we're like, oh, well, we had already formed our groups of 10, and I was like, you know what? It's five on one side and five on the other side. They're probably gonna split us in half. I didn't know how they were gonna do it though. I didn't know it was gonna be right down the middle. I thought like they could do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Like who knows? But I did think it was gonna be within our group of 10, and it would somehow split us up. But I will say, like, it's crazy because I actually wasn't on my side. I was a seat over, and I had my friend Joel was on this side, and one of the girls on the end came down and like asked Joel, and she was like, "Can you move down here with me because I don't feel comfortable being first. I need like your support." And he was like, "Yeah, everyone slide down." So I slid down one, and then he went down last second, and then when we got into the games, they split us. So I was actually on the other side, but because he went down and I went to this side, I ended up on that side. So I got super lucky. Super lucky.
Wow. Last second decision making, man. Well,
Mhm.
you switched sides and they announced obviously what the game is. It's six-legged pentathlon, as we said, and it's ball in a cup, flying rock, gongi, house of cards, and jeji. Can you tell me how your group decided who was going to play each game?
So we actually figured it out in like 20 seconds. Like we figured it out very quick. I immediately said, I'm gonna do Gonji. I'm gonna do it. Never played it before in my life, but I've seen the drama, so like I kind of knew the concept of it at least. And I did ask a question, like, because we were allowed to ask questions about like, the game before we like did the games. We had a little Q&A basically that like asked questions, and I literally asked them. I was like, hey, like, can like they made it seem like it was like stage one, stage two, stage three, stage four, stage five, and I was like, when you get to stage two, if you mess up, do you have to go back to stage one? And they're like, no, you stay on stage two. So I was like, bet, okay, I can probably do that. Like, I don't know. I was just like, nobody else on my team was confident with it. So I said, I'm going to do it. Sam, she did House of Cards. Chris said, I'm going to do that. I'm going to throw the rock. We have our buddy Al, he did the ball in the cup. And then Alicia, she ended up doing the jaggy. So we figured it out really quick. So as soon as I said mine, they all just said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And then the rest of the time that we had to like prep, we just practiced walking. And I kind of was like the group leader of that one specific game because I said I'm in the middle, but like I was like, we're gonna do a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Like I counted all the feet. I was like, when I say one, you're gonna step with this foot, and then two, you're gonna step with this foot. And we just practiced walking back and forth. So I felt like that was more important than figuring out games. Like we need to get our walking pattern down before we start this game, and we did. We killed it. We killed it.
Y'all taking care of business, and they rushed through the games and whatnot. But tell me how your
Yeah.
team fared while playing the six-legged pentathlon. Tell me that.
See, like Al, he did the ball in the cup. He got through it pretty fast. And then we got to Chris, and he hit the rock on the stone first try. First try. I was bet. We got to me. I got my little gonji. We like kneeled down, and my hands were like this. And I don't know, like I'm not like a nervous guy like that, but like I think the weight of knowing that if I mess up this game that I've literally never played before, if I mess it up, then everyone dies because of me. That's like a lot of pressure. because this season was very team game, team game. You're relying on somebody else almost the whole season. Like first season wasn't like that, but this season, like there was a lot more like. I mean, some of the games were like Battleship and whatnot, but like, but you know, like almost every single game, if you did something, you also caused somebody else to die. So it was very stressful. So I don't know, like my hands were definitely shaking, but I think each round took me a couple tries. Chris was like motivating me, be like, throw it higher, like you got it, and I got through it. Sam got the house of cards. She was also shaking, but she wasn't licking the cards or anything like that. Not bending the cards. She got it. She got it up there. Not. It didn't take too long. But yeah, I was so surprised when I found out everyone was licking the cards and bending them. I didn't even think we could do that, but I guess I never asked, so I didn't know. And then like Alicia, she got to like Jeggy, took like 3 tries, I think. And it was actually funny because the last she like hit it twice, and then the third time was kind of like a little tap, and it went like it flew to the middle, like the middle of the thing. We would have had to get it, and we were like, oh, let's go get it. And then we're like, wait, I think she hit it. And the guard like looked at us for like 3 seconds, and then he did the little we're like, "Oh," and then, like, the other team was doing House of Cards, so we made it. We got past it, and yeah, we got through.
Okay, well, congratulations. Teamwork makes the dream work, and y'all went through and conquered that game. So you made it through the next round, and you get back in the dorms, and soon we find our friend 272 goes in and finds this vending machine in the boiler room and comes out with these cookies. Do you get a cookie?
Hell no. I said, well, okay. Obviously, my friend Chris was a part of that little dynamic. And I did trust him, like, because he was like, "Yo, there's nothing wrong with these cookies, like, for real." But by the time he told us that, the cookies are pretty much gone. But I didn't get a cookie because Ryan, what 272, whoever his name is, up there is Ryan. He just like made it sound so sketchy, dude. Like he ran up there, and the thing he said was, "Guys, we wanted to share these cookies because like all 5 of us, we got so full." And we just wanted to share it with y'all, and we want to play a game. We were like, "Fool! I can eat a whole bag by myself and still not be like still be hungry. What are you talking about? We're all starving in here." And he was like, "Yeah, we're so full." I think that's what like made everyone like on edge. And then Dimitri, he was like, "All right, y'all, we're gonna play a game, and we're gonna get the little tin. If you bring us your little Vaseline tins that have your number on it, we'll like give you a cookie like in exchange." And he did the craziest thing. He took it and he literally grabbed his mic, no joke. He was like, whatever number. He was like, number like whatever. I don't remember the numbers, but let's just say his number, like 125. And like he made it sound like he was like speaking into the mic to say the number, like as if like that player was eliminated because they just gave me their thing. Like it was a game that they had to play. So sketchy. Didn't trust it. But no, after Chris told me, I was like, oh, okay. Like I trust you, Chris. I know you're not lying, but by that point, there was no more cookies anyways. So
Hey man, the wrath of the sketchy cookies, as I call it. Y'all definitely said I'm not doing that. So that comes through, and then soon the voice above announces that the slowest players, or the guards come out. The guards come out and they announce the slowest players in each game must come up, and they are player 180, 89, 40, 344, and 289. Everyone must vote to either keep them or eliminate them. What were you thinking in this moment?
immediately I saw the musician up there, the one who literally got us to where we are, and I said, "Oh, I'm gonna save him." Immediately, I didn't even have a doubt. I was like, "I don't care," because there was so much talk about, "Oh, like what if the next slowest people are up for like elimination if we get them out? I mean, if we save them, or what if it's the fastest team, or what?" There were so many conspiracies because you never know with Squid Game, you just don't know. And I was like, "Yeah." But none of us would be here right now if it wasn't for that one man on stage right now. None of us would be here. So I was like, I'm gonna do the right thing. I'm gonna vote him back in. So me, Sam, Chris, Al, like from our pentathlon, we all voted. We said we're gonna try to save them, and we knew because like immediately so many X's were going, so we knew it probably didn't matter. But still, I still wanted to try at least to show him like, hey, like we still want you here, dude. Like you literally got us so far. I don't think it's fair, but I mean, I get it. Like I get it, it's a game, and the main thing of Squid Game is to eliminate people. I get it, but I don't know. I just felt like if we had a chance to save him, why not take it, you know? But yeah, I did try to save him.
Hey, you voted, oh man, I think you did the right thing in my book. And unfortunately, everybody else was just had the money on the mind and not any
Yep.
morals and values. And so, how did you feel about some people skipping up there, dancing, Dougieing, and whatnot when they went to vote?
There was a lot of dramatics, a lot of theatrical dramatics. Like I said, I'm a theater guy, and you are too. So like, I think we like, I don't know. I could tell there was people just being performative and doing stuff for the camera. So I don't know. But it also seemed kind of disrespectful. I was like, y'all, like, I don't know. Like, imagine if that was you up there and somebody's doing that to you. Like, I would feel like shitty. I would feel like that. Ah, that sucks. Like, these people do not care about me at all. Even if it's true, like, come on, like, just go up there, press the X, and walk away. Like, if that's what you're gonna do, but like, why rub it in their face, basically? So I wasn't gonna do that.
Yeah, that was crazy work. That was
Hmm.
insane to me. I'm like, nah, somebody would have got cussed out at me after that.
Yeah.
But yes, those five are ultimately eliminated, and soon it's time for the next game. And so you guys walk into a room, and there's four boxes: yellow, purple, blue, and pink with markers inside. Which one do you pick?
So we ended up going with yellow, and we actually were originally going to go to pink because Sam was like, "Oh, I really feel pink. I like because my hair is pink. We need to go to pink." And we're like, "All right, man, let's go to pink." But we walked over there full, all the way full, because people were running to those spots, and we said, "Dang, we gotta hurry!" So we like just ran to the other side where we saw yellow, and we just stood there. And luckily, we found like a spot next to each other because we didn't want to like we just didn't want to separate like ever because that we were like a duo, trying to find like the same area always. But we were in the yellow, had a spot. We knew that 3 people would be left out, but honestly, the 3 people that got left out chose to be left out. Like, they all wanted to be left out. They literally were like, "Oh, we want like, we trust this. We wanna not be included." So, it wasn't like anyone, like, forced them. They just were, like, purposely because I remember Jonty, he was literally on a spot, and then he said, there was somebody in the middle. He's like, "Switch with me. Imma stay in the middle." So, he chose to go in the middle. So, yeah.
Yeah, he set himself up for failure and well, soon
Mhm.
failure, but potential success, you know?
Yeah, you never
But you
know. You
guys
never.
leave there, you never know. You leave there and you go in the room and you see the lines with the dots and whatnot, and they announce the game is catch. The player must catch the ball from the thrower, and if he drops it or she drops it, they are both eliminated. So when you heard the rules, what were you thinking?
Once again, another team game. I was like, "Oh, great, another life on my hands." But immediately, my thing was the whole time I was just thinking about my friends and thinking about Sam, and like, because she got a disadvantage. She got the scratch off and got a disadvantage, and we didn't know what the disadvantage was. So I remember we were talking in our little group. Viper was talking, giving the speech, and he was like, "Yeah." We basically were like, "The disadvantaged people should be at the front because, for one, don't know what it is. People probably won't even want to throw to them. But also, it's like, just in case people do throw to them, they're disadvantaged. So let them be at the front at least because we don't know what it is." I even told Sam, I was like, "I think it might be a blindfold," which is not the one she got, but you never know. So, and I got to the front of the line and catch, which is crazy because I only did that because I was like, "Hey, like, I don't know if the person throwing is also going to be disadvantaged, but I'm going to throw it to Sam either way." I feel like we trusted each other, and I knew that like I could, no matter what it was, and because I thought it was a blindfold, I was like, I can guide it into your hand because I will literally like I will tell you exactly where I'm throwing it, where to put your hands. I got you. And we didn't like she. Didn't, I don't think she trusted anybody else like in there like that, anyways, to do that. So I knew I had her back no matter what. And I literally gave a little speech about it too. They just cut it out, but I literally told people why I did that. I actually had to like battle my way to the front because Faith, she also wanted to be at the front. And she was like, "Drake, rock, paper, scissors me right now." And I was like, "I bet, let's do it." So we rock, paper, scissors because I was like, you know what? I am trying to protect my friend, but like, who am I to claim the spot? Like let's battle it out, sure. And we did it, and I ended up winning. So she was like, "All right, bet, I'm gonna go back there." And she went back. I took the spot, and yeah, that's how I got up there. But I did kind of have to battle my way up there to get that spot, but we did it.
Hey, there was little battles within the games, you know? That's the
Mhm.
stuff that we don't get to see because
They
they
cut
didn't
it
give us
out. I
enough
don't know.
episodes, coach, and they cut them all out. Well, that was good that you got up in the front. It was a lot easier than what it seemed to be at the beginning. I mean, even the twins were like, I don't know why they weren't trying to throw it 2 feet behind them. That was crazy
I was like,
work,
it's right
but
there. It's right there.
yeah,
They
it's
were.
right there. Like, what are you so scared about?
It was so weird. It was
So
so
yeah,
weird.
they were on one. But soon the game commences and people are making it through, making it through, making it through. It's your turn. So, how was it with you throwing the ball and catching the ball?
Well, for one, and the way they structure the game, which they didn't really show it, but maybe a little bit, but like we basically had to like convince the person up next to throw to us. So that was like basically the objective. So we had to like basically be like, "Hey, like you need to throw to me, like I'm a great catcher, whatever." Like trying to convince people to throw to you. For one, we were on our feet for hours and hours. We wanted to sit down, to be honest. But yeah, so like we just kept convincing. And I remember Sean, he walked up there and because they were all just basically throwing it to their team. I was like, "Sean, throw it to me. Throw it to me. Like, I'm your friend. I've known you since the hotel. I've known you for like, dude, like yeah, you're like one of the best guys in here. Like we get along so well. Throw it to me. I got you. You'll be safe." And he was like, "Nah, man. I got to throw it. I got to throw it to my team. Sorry, man." Couldn't convince him. He threw it. He got eliminated. And then I was just like, "Oh, dude." I, he wouldn't even look at me. I was like I remember he walked out. Like he just looked upset. I was like, I felt bad, but I tried to get him to throw it to me. I was like, "I'm right here. It's so easy." And that's guaranteed you pass. But I think people thought I wasn't athletic because I'm a skinny white guy with glasses. They're like, "Oh, nerd. He can't catch." So they're all scared. They were all scared of me. I'm right here. I don't care if I'm the most unathletic person in the world. I'm right in front of you. I'm gonna catch it. Like that would be crazy if I didn't catch that. Like I could catch it with one hand. I could do this and probably still catch it. Like I'm not gonna miss. Crazy work. Yeah, it was just crazy. But like then like Bridget came up and she was like she didn't want to throw to her team anymore because they just lost two people. She was like, "Drake, you're gonna catch it?" I was like, "Yeah, I've been saying." Caught it, easy. She sat down and then I gave my little speech, threw it to Sam. She caught it, fire, and yeah, I got to sit on down.
You got to sit on down. You was scaring people with, the nerd look,
I
coach.
know, they said, "Whatever you do, don't throw the Drake." I was like, "Dang, it's vanilla Drake. What do you mean?"
Not
Crazy.
vanilla Drake. I'm crying. Well, have you played sports, coach? Did you?
Look now. Does marching band count as a sport?
Oh my God,
No,
now,
me and
yeah,
my
you
buddies
saying
play
stuff like
basketball
that.
all the time. Like I didn't like
Okay.
specifically play, but like I played basketball after school all the time with my friends, and like I was I did track, like I was athletic, like but I just didn't like I just don't give athletic, I guess. So they were just afraid of me.
Well, also wearing the big baggy sweats, it doesn't help, so.
Yeah, they're like, "Yeah, that good skinny guy." And also, I will say this too. I was very sick because I had like 103 fever during that game. No joke. So I was dying actually, but like I was still locked in. I was still locked in. Just overheated.
Dang, they was giving you the Mark treatment, coach.
Not the Mark treatment. That's crazy.
That
They
is
weren't.
crazy.
They
Shout
weren't.
out Mark. Shout out
I
Mark.
know. Love Mark.
That's funny. That's the funniest story I've heard from the like, nah, coach, you ain't getting the ball.
They said everyone keep throwing everybody else but Drake. It's like, dang.
That's that's hilarious. And so, well, congratulations. You make it through the game
Did.
and you are headed back to the dorms. And soon you get back and go to sleep and wake up and there's a doll. Do you think about getting this doll?
Oh, hell no. I don't know. I honestly did consider it. I was like, you know what? I haven't really taken a risk yet. I might as well do it now. And I was planning on taking it. It's actually funny because I told Isaiah, because when he had the doll, he actually asked me, he was like, you want it? I was like, I'll take it. But I think he already had in mind who he wanted to give it to. He wanted to give it to Natalie. So I was like, all right. Because he was like walking up to me too. I was like, what's up? I was like, what's up, Isaiah? I said, Isaiah. Or something like that. And he to me. So I thought he would to me. I would have taken. I was like, I'm right here. I was chilling. I probably would have got it. Everyone had their strategies. I think once the first guy got it and he got a disadvantage, everyone was like, oh, let me get away from that. So yeah, you just never know.
Yeah, you never know, man. But you was asking for it for a little bit. But it does go to 75 and he gives it to Isaiah gives it to her, and then she has to go into the boiler room and eliminate a player. And she soon eliminates player number 80. How'd you feel about that?
I also didn't really know her, to be honest. I think she did choose the smartest thing. Like, because, I mean, I think that lady was very just like, I don't know. She probably had like her like one or two friends that she was like really close with, but she didn't really like. At least to me, like it didn't seem like she really socialized that much. So maybe she was just like there, like chilling, hanging in the bed, whatever, laying down. But I mean, she gave her like example like why she did it. And I thought it was smart because I think I would have done the same thing because I think it's too risky to get out a big threat. I don't know. It depending on the time of the game. I feel like it was very risky to do that. And like if I got one of the twins or whatever, they have like a big alliance over there, and like you might as well just get somebody out that you don't really talk to. So that's what I would have did the same thing, to be honest.
Okay, okay. Well, shout out player 80, Ashley. Nobody knows her apparently in this show.
I never had a
But she is
conversation with her.
well, I mean, I'm on her player profile and she's a mom of two boys and been on every PTO booster club and organization for them.
What?
And shout yeah, y'all did a mom dirty, but it's
That's
okay.
crazy. Hey, don't say y'all. I wasn't a part of that. I was just chilling.
Well, you didn't talk to her either, coach.
Hey, it works both ways. She didn't talk to me.
True, true. She was thinking about her kids at home, I
I
guess.
know.
Well, shout out 80. Well, soon 98 gets the doll last, and he has to go into the boiler room, and he has a decision to make. He must pick a player to be up for elimination along with himself. And so when he comes out the boiler room, he gives this grandiose speech, starts crying, gives Oscar performances. How do you feel about his speech?
I mean, I was just like, "Where are the tears?" To be honest, I was like, "Where are the tears? I don't see nothing." But I mean, to be honest, I think at that point of the game, 98 was like the biggest threat to everybody, and not even like just a threat. I think he was just he's very passionate, and he's very just like firm, and he's going to get his point across, and he was just loud, and I think nobody like wanted to mess with him because of all those situations. As you saw in Catch, I literally said I never liked that guy when I was talking to Sam about him. So, oh, that's crazy, you know. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I It did seem kind of performative to me, but like I get it. Like you're trying to stay, and like this is your one chance to say something, you know. And we didn't know who he was going to put up. Like he had to put up somebody against him. We didn't know who it was. He said we'll find out later. So we're like, dang, who do you choose? We assumed it was a big target though, to like get the heat off of him. So yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely he was the prime suspect of everything. And so he picks player 431 to be up with him. And so it's between those two. So when you find out at those two, how'd you think, what'd you decide to do?
Yeah, it's actually crazy because he chose the one person that I would have voted like against him, that I would have taken out before him. It's crazy because if it had been anybody else, I would have just chose 98 to be honest. But he chose really smart because the 431 was the one who got out Jackie. And I knew he got out Jackie because I confronted him about it day one. And I asked him about it, and he was very just like, no, man, like, no, like, that wasn't me. You can think what you want, but like, that wasn't me. And he wouldn't even like make eye contact with me or anything. So I knew it was him. I was like, nah, like, that's the only reason you're here. Like, it only makes sense that you had to eliminate people to stay. Like, I like connected the dots so easy, and so did everybody else. So I was like, you know what? And I went up there. I said, for one, you have another chance to win right there. And for two, you got on my friend Jackie. So this is for her. And I pressed the X and went on over. Yeah.
And this man put him on Front Street and put all the business out there. Well, shout out to you, man. I would have done the same thing, man. I probably would have said worse.
I think people
So,
did say worse. I was actually pretty tame.
I mean, what's the worst thing you heard?
I mean, I think people were just saying like he was like a snake, and he was just like, obviously only cared about himself and literally putting himself in positions to win and like doing the most. It was just a lot. Like people were just like, everyone's like, yeah, 98's a loudmouth, but like you're like the worst kind of like person in this game right now because you're only caring about yourself. Everyone's like, oh, it was a lot. There was a lot being said, but I was like, I'm gonna just say my piece and go to my side.
Hey,
Yeah.
people did not like Dude, and I don't blame him either, because Dude did want to only eliminate 3 black people too. That's what I got a problem with.
Look now. I saw that too. I said, oh, out of all these people,
I'm like, oh, this is the game you want to play.
out of all these people, you chose 3 black people. I mean,
No, that's great. I mean, yeah, like I
we all
look, I
thinking
went
the
on a
same
many
thing.
diatribes about. I went on this many diatribes about it, and it's just like if you don't know the ops, like, look, I'm not saying if you don't like them, fine, eliminate them,
Yeah.
but
There
it
wasn't even a
don't look
reason.
good, coach.
There
It
wasn't
don't
even a
look
reason
good.
for
That's
the
all.
twins. They were just like, they're twins. Let's get them out. And like, but that doesn't help because there were also other twins in there. It wasn't just them. There was more twins. So you just chose
Yeah.
the black twins.
Whatever reason, coach. I mean, look, I talked to the twins, and they kind of gave me their POV on it.
Yeah.
But still, it was a dumb decision. That was not strategic in the slightest. You want to
Yeah.
keep other twins around because that's your shield. You
Yeah.
know?
Like, I know. Or like, I don't know. There's like other people they could have chose, or they could have, I don't know. Yeah. Like, you want multiple duos in there because you are a duo. If you're the only duo left, everyone's going to be on you. So I don't know. But yeah, I do see. I don't know why they chose that, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he gets soon voted out, and he's gone. So peace out, 431. I'll see you. He's head out the game and going up the street back to his house in Bristol, maybe an hour away. And so
Yeah,
soon
exactly.
it is time for you guys to eat. And Marcus, player 21, finds a note in his spoon and tells him the game is mingle and then what the first number is. Did you ever find out this information?
So no. Well, yes and no. I didn't find out until we got to Mingle. So when we got to the game, right before like the platform started spinning, I don't even remember who it was, but somebody came over and said, "Hey, by the way, the first number is 6." And we're like, "How do you know?" And they're like, "Oh, someone got a note earlier." So they started telling everybody. So I don't know who, like, I know I was like so much for I don't even remember, but they found out who it was, like what the number was, and they came and told us. So we already prepped for 6. So we were set, but they pretty much told everybody on that platform what the number was.
Okay, interesting. That's why the first round is so tame, I suppose.
Because we already knew.
Except for the 4 people. Yeah, except for the 4 people that got out. So why don't you, tell me how the game went for you, coach?
I hate a mingle. Absolutely. That's where my trauma comes from, is a mingle. Mingle is so, I don't know, like, because the drama, there's like what, 5 rounds probably. We did like double that at least. Like we did so many rounds of mingle. And obviously there was a lot of emotions. There was a lot going on, a lot of pushing, shoving, screaming, just a lot. Obviously, I lost my closest friend there, Sam. I lost her in mingle. And after that happened, I remember I just started like crying. I was like, I don't even cry, but that environment, I think like because you're just like you're hungry. Like I was hungry, I was sick. I'm not getting any sleep. Like we just went through hours and hours of this stress. I just lost my closest friend in here. Like I just broke down. I just started crying, and it was just rough. I don't know. They had already called the number 7 too, and we were set for 7, and then they called it again. And 7 was the one number where I couldn't be with Sam because we 7, because the way we formed our groups was like 6 and 6, then we formed a group of 12, and there was another 6 and 6 and a form of 12. But whenever the number was odd or 7, we had to split up our group of 6 and go into different groups. So just like that's what we decided, because for other numbers we did different groups. So ours was 7. So we split up our group of 6 and went into different groups. I went with Zoe, Perla, Jeffrey, Kurt, Justin, and Lizzie. I was their 7. So Sam and Chris, they went on the other side and found a different group. So that's how that worked. And it was only for the number 7, because every other number I was in the same room as her. And obviously, like what went down happened. She like got eliminated, and then she ran to my door and like reached for my hand, and we started like we were crying together. We were like, it was so, because she was like yelling my name, and I was trying to get her attention because I was stuck in my door. And I remember I was like trying to get out, and they were like, nah, you can't go. And I was like my friends over there, like, and I remember I was calling her name. I was like, Sam. And the way like I was on one door, and then the like mingle, and then she was on the other side, so she couldn't hear me. And then by the time, like, and obviously Natalie was also trying to come into our room at that time, so there was a lot going on. And I looked at the time, there was only like 19 seconds left. So I didn't even have time to like get her to me, because I would have happily switched places. Happily switched places. Yeah, I would have. I
You were gonna
guarantee.
sacrifice yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, I would have. I would have switched places, and I would have been done, because I was already over it. I already didn't want to be there anymore after Mingle. Like during Mingle, I was like, I can't. The way that they don't even show it, but the way that they would call a number and I would stand there, I was so checked out. People kept grabbing me and pulling me in the rooms. Like I was not moving because I was so like overwhelmed, and it's so much. Like it was just too much, and I just stood there. Yeah, even for the number 7, Justin came over there and grabbed me and pulled me into the room with him. Crazy.
You checked out to that degree?
I checked out. I was so checked out, and that was even before Sam died. So,
So
after
what
Sam died,
so
no,
you
I was.
weren't like, I mean, that's wild.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a tense game, but you just got to the point of just like, look, I don't want to do it anymore because of like, what was that thing? Was it just,
I just
I
think
mean, Sam
like
had something to do with it.
I don't know. Like I just think that there was just so much, like, and so much they didn't even show in Mingo. So much they didn't show, like us arguing with the producers and the things that happened during the game that we just didn't think were fair. And then like I think that the main
How is
thing
it
was
not
just,
fair though?
I don't know. I don't even know if I can speak on it, but obviously some things happens like behind the scenes,
You
and
can
there was
speak
like, a
on it,
couple.
coach. The show's over.
I don't know. I was looking up on that contract of
You
mine.
can be general. You can be general about
Yeah.
how things
So
weren't fair. You don't have
yeah,
to get
I just
specific.
so if we played a round and there was an error in the round, they would void the round, and we'd have to do another round.
Mm.
So let's just say they found a error in one of the rounds and they wanted to void it, and we had to do the round again. And the
What would
round
an
that they did,
error be?
as in like if people step off the platform too early, then it doesn't count, which happened every single round, but they only wanted to choose it for certain rounds for some reason. That's a whole other thing. But yeah, so they voted the round that Sam was safe, and they decided to keep the round where she wasn't safe. So that I don't know, it was just upsetting. But I do think it's because, for one, I was very, very, very sick. Like I was so sick in those games for like days, and I wasn't eating. I didn't like the way I said. I lost 17 pounds when I was there in my time there because I didn't eat. I went to the medic. I was like, "Hey, I literally cannot eat anything." And they were like, "Well, you drinking water?" I was like, "When they don't take it away, yeah, I'm trying." And they're like, "Okay, well, just take like 1 to 2 bites a day and you'll be fine." That's what they told me. So I would take 1 or 2 bites, and I would force myself to eat it because I couldn't keep anything down. Like I was just like that sick. So whoever brought in the sickness, it's your fault. Because I think I would have been way more level headed if I wasn't dying. I was literally dying. So I think, and like the lack of sleep, obviously we're going to bed super late, waking up super early, no sunlight, weren't going outside. It was rainy every single day. We didn't know what time it was. It was just a lot. And I was also very homesick. I was missing home. I haven't been away from my wife for like that long, and not being able to talk to her at all. Like it was just a lot. Like, I've never been away from home, so I think I was very homesick too. So like all of that goes into play of how I reacted, I think. And I was just like tired, and I was just like, I get like this is a cool experience and it's supposed to be fun, but like I was having fun. Like that specific game, I was not having fun. And yeah, and at the end of it, the guards come out and they say, "Here are marbles," and we threw the marbles on the ground, and that's what happened. So yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the most in-depth that anyone I've spoken to got about Mingle so far. I mean, because you had a very crazy experience with it. And I know personally how close you are with Sam just because, I did snoop your Instagram and whatnot. And I know you guys are tight. And so I even watched your video of her getting eliminated, the one you like holding her hands
It's so
and
sad.
putting the wig on.
That's so funny. That's so funny. But no, like they kept her at my door for like 10 minutes. Like we were crying together, like talking for like 10. We traded Instagrams. I was like, "I'm gonna find you after the games, whatever." We talked for a long time. They cut it all out, obviously. Um, but yeah, so like it went on for a while, like her at my door. But everyone in the room behind me was crying, except for Kurt. Kurt was strategizing. He was like, "The next number is this." And I remember because it was so funny because Zoe turned to him and she was like, "Kurt, stop talking." She literally called him by his name. I thought it was so funny, but like she was like, "Kurt." And then like obviously Sam died. I remember sitting on the floor and then Justin turned to me and he was like, "Man, this is gonna be worse than watching the episode of Scott's Tots from The Office." And I remember even though I was already crying, I started laughing because I was like, "Oh, you're so right. Scott's Tots is so." But I just thought it was so funny. I was like, they cut out all the funny things. Like Justin said, like if this was a comedy, there would have been way more screen time for some people because it was funny.
Oh yeah, no, I say the same thing about our show is like it was hilarious, but they made it so serious. And I
Yeah,
said this after the first season. It's like it looks real serious and this, that, and the third, but people are cracking jokes.
I
People are
know.
saying the funniest things in like the most serious times. And I just think, it's a drama, but we don't even emphasize the drama part. It's just the game. And we focus, I think if we can Squid Game, look, the challenge season 3, we can cut out some of the guard snippets. We don't care about seeing the headmaster or the front man
Front man,
drinking
yeah.
some wine. We don't care about that. We don't care about seeing the control room. We don't care
Yeah,
about all that extra jazz. We want to see more of the players and the interactions because this is a reality show. Well,
exactly.
it's a reality show, but technically called an immersive experience or whatever, not a
Yeah,
competition show. But we want to see more of that, and it's not just all like super serious and about the game, and because there's other things going on too that they're missing gold.
yeah.
So just maybe a tidbit season 3, like not trying to tell y'all what to do, but I'm trying to tell y'all
No,
what's up.
I agree, and I honestly think that, like, season 1 had so much more, like, bonding and getting to know players and, like, dorm life. We didn't get, like, any dorm life. The only time we were in the
You guys
dorms
didn't
was
get
the
any dorm
doll.
life.
It was, like, the doll there was always
Yeah.
something going on. It was, like, the doll or the scratch off or something, like, it never was just, like, us getting to know each other and forming those connections. Cut it all out. It literally was, like, "The twins, alright, game. The twins, game. Zoe Kurt, game." Like, it was, like, literally no so, by the time we get to the end of it, everyone's like, "Who are these people?" We never got to see anything. They cut every one of my mids out of the show completely. Like, I filmed so many, and they said, "Boom, we're gonna cut it all." So, yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy,
no,
but
that didn't make
oh, go
no, go
ahead, go
ahead.
ahead.
No, I said, yeah, that didn't make any sense. For our season, it was like, yeah, we had red light, green light, but we even met the girl that got out first in red light, green light. They even gave her a miv.
Yeah,
So, like, we were in the dorms. They spent a lot of times. They showed us getting our food, chit chatting, side convos, just other little things more so. And, even people that got eliminated in the games, they took a little bit more time in that rather than rushing it so quickly. I don't know where he went, y'all, but he will be back in a second. Apologies for the technical difficulties, y'all. I don't know. Drake's Wi-Fi just kind of just went
yeah,
blackout, but
I wasn't even on Wi-Fi, I just now switched to Wi-Fi.
he wasn't on Wi-Fi. That's why. Okay, that makes more
That
sense. Okay,
mobile data, you know?
that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, I can I'm a little more clear now. I can hear him more clear now. Everything's clear now that the rain is gone. But yes, we were on the mingle. But yes, unfortunately, they was acting a fool with the edits, with the
Yeah.
games and whatnot, and mingle happened, and somehow you made it through, and you weren't trying to make it through. So, at the end, you guys decided to protest, lock arms, say you're not going to go to another door. Can you tell me a little bit about that? And did you care? Were you the leader of the protest since you wanted to quit?
Like I said, I just stood there. I remember like we came out, I stood there, and then I just like sat down on the platform. And then Tiffany came up to me and she like player 203, she came up to me and she was like, Drake, get up, you have to like do the game. I was like, and like she helped me up and I just stood there. Cause I was so over it. Honestly, like I would say like Mingo was the only game that I was the only time that I didn't wanna be there. Like, I felt like I had a great time the entire time, but it was just Mingo. That was the only time I felt that way, and I was having, like because I was sick the whole time pretty much, but, like, I felt great and, like, wanted to do I was excited the whole time, but Mingo, I don't know what it was about that environment, but it was just so stressful. But, yeah, so, we basically, like we were like, we don't wanna play this anymore because 'cause we've already done so many rounds, so many voided rounds, so many there was just so much, and it was so long, and we thought we were done, and then the music started playing again, and we were like, "Oh, no," like, I didn't say anything, like, I just stood there because I was like, "Whatever." I already said, like, "I'm not leaving the platform. I will die here. I don't care." I didn't care at that point. But then they were like, "We're not playing, like, stand in a circle, hold hands, whatever." They said, like, basically the number is 2, but we don't have to leave the platform. They even told us we don't have to leave the platform. I think because they knew we weren't going to leave the platform. So we're like, all right. Like, but this is after we had already said, like, we're not leaving the platform. That's what they were like, find pairs on the platform. And they were like, okay. And then they came, and then we all like I remember I just stood there and Dimitri walked over to me. He became my partner because he was like, we were the last two left, I guess. And he came up to me and stood next to me. And then the guards came out because I don't know, I think the game was always supposed to be marbles. A lot of people say like it was scripted or whatever. None of that was scripted. And I think it's so funny because I'm like, if people think it's scripted, I mean, I can see why they think that, but we weren't told to do anything. We weren't told to do all that. I think the game was always supposed to be marbles. I think that with you know uh with the pair situation, we were supposed to go into the doors. And there would have been, I think, because I counted, there would only be enough for like 38 people or something like for pairs. So there would have been people eliminated that round, 100%, if we went to the doors. We didn't go to the doors. So we stayed on the platform and they brought out and they took a little bit longer to bring the guards out and stuff too. So I think they probably just had extra marbles or whatever for everybody. And then they came out, passed out the marbles. We were upset and we left. That was basically that. I mean, yeah, that was basically that. I remember that same night, I tried to self-eliminate. Yeah, I didn't want I don't know why what it was about that day, but I just didn't want to be there anymore. I remember the producer pulled me out and she was like, "What's going on?" Like, well, she came to me because I didn't even ask to go out, but she came to me and I was like, "Yeah, I want to go home." And she was like, "Well, like, why do you want to go home?" And I was like, like, I said that was just a lot mentally for me, and like, I just miss my wife. I miss home. I miss eating. I'm hungry. I'm sick. It was just a bad time for me. So I was like, I want to go home. And then she was like, "Well, you just need to sleep on it. Like, we can't do anything tonight as it is. Like, you just need to sleep on it and let me know in the morning how you're feeling, basically." And then like obviously I went to bed, woke up in the morning, talked to a few people, like I felt way better in the morning, like way better. I think like after I don't know, like when if you cry and then you go to sleep, it's usually a great sleep. Like I slept and then I woke up, I felt a lot better. I was like, you know what? Like I am here for a reason. Yeah, Mingo was a lot, but like I feel good now. I feel a lot better today. I was like, I think I'll be fine. I knew the next game was marbles, and I wasn't even nervous. I was like, yeah, let's do it. I'm pumped. I'm ready. So like it was like a complete switch. Like I felt way better the next day. And the way they filmed it was like we went straight into marbles, but no, we had a full night's sleep, and
Mhm.
we filmed it the next day.
Well, you get to marbles, you're all better and well, essentially, and you got to pick a game. Now, they rushed through a lot of these games real quick. We didn't get to see a ton of your games, so can you explain how your marbles went down?
Yeah, we didn't see any of my game. They said we're gonna cut it all out. Yeah, so it was me and Dimitri, player 125, and we chatted for a bit. We had a really good chat too, 'cause we were both teachers, we both did theater, we both like yeah, we had a lot of similarities. We had never really talked before that game, so it's kinda crazy. But yeah, and we were both content, like, with how our game has been so far. We're both content, so we're like, "Whatever happens here happens." I'm happy to lose to you. You're happy to lose to me. Whatever. Like we'll just play, and whatever happens, let's just have fun. We were cutting jokes, we were laughing, which is that's why I think that's why our game didn't get shown because it didn't meet Squid Game standards of being serious. Nobody was crying. I was already cried out from the night before, so I was chilling, and I was like, honestly, like I could go home right now. Like I'm content. Like I'm chilling. Like let's just have a fun game. Whatever happens, I think you deserve it just as much as me, and we'll see what happens. And we drew a circle in the sand, drew a line, and basically the whoever got the most in the circle wins. So it was like a throwing game basically. And the first game we tied. We had the same exact amount, and we had like 10 minutes left. And we're like, oh, round two. So we did it again. And the second round, I got 6 and he got 4. His death was very dramatic because he dropped the marble into my hand, and as it touched my hand, his ink pack went off, and the ink literally got my face, got on my clothes, and then he fell back. But he like laid on the ground, and then I looked back up, and he was like, he did like that. I started laughing because I was like, that's so stupid. Like, what are you doing? And it was funny because even the cameraman started laughing. So it was just funny. And then like I left and I made it through the game. Yeah, it was crazy. But like we had a good game. We had a really good game. I wish they did show us playing it at least. But I understand why they didn't because it wasn't serious, you know?
It's
Yeah.
only serious over here, coach,
I know,
gotta
right? How
ain't
dare you have fun?
no fun allowed. Remember the Titan
Exactly.
settings. And so there are only 22 players left. Congratulations. I don't know if you wanna hear that or not, but congratulations.
Happy at that point. I was like, okay, bet, let's do it. I don't know how I made it this far, but let's go.
I don't either, coach. You tried to self-evict. People gonna be sick when they hear this. But yes, there's
Mentally, that was a bad day for me. It was just a bad day, but
okay.
I was chill after that. I was so good.
Okay, okay. Well, cool. I'm glad you got your head back in the game, High School
Yeah.
Musical settings. Get your head in the game, coach. And so, yes, now you guys must choose 3 monitors to be in charge of the dorm. Did you want to be a monitor?
I I didn't volunteer for it. I just felt like I was intrigued by it for sure, and I wouldn't mind being a monitor, but I think by that point in the game, I had lost pretty much all my connections and all my friends. So I wasn't really close with anybody other than maybe like Emily, player 383. I was close with her. So I was always next to her, but like I wasn't really close with anybody else like that. Not really. But besides like maybe Zoe, I was close with her too, but like, so I didn't feel like I should be one of the monitors who are in charge of a bunch of people who like don't really know me that well yet. And we obviously had like a whole day and like days of conversations after that point. So I got to know everyone really well. But at that point, when they said the monitor stuff, I didn't feel like confident in like leading everybody and I felt like people would get mad at me if I was out there to be honest. So I was like, I'm just gonna like sit back and like let them choose. So yeah.
Facts, facts. Emily, low key, fun fact, she was my dark horse winner pick when y'all got down to 22. I'm like, they ain't showing this girl now. She about to win the game, but she didn't.
I know. But Emily, she's the best. I love her. She's so great.
And so soon, yes, the monitors get these special privileges. They get some satin sheets, they get food, they get all these things. How'd you feel about all that?
Oh, well, I didn't care about the sheets or whatever. I was like, whatever. That's just like they didn't. I mean, they had an extra pillow, but like it kind of felt the same. I was like, it doesn't really matter. If the bed sucks, like the sheets aren't gonna make it any better. Um, but the food that morning when they had breakfast, you already know I was starving. So I saw that and I was like, that looks like it actually looks edible. I was like going through it. I was like, dang, I want that so bad. But what they didn't show you is they also came out with lunch and they brought out a big old table and they brought 6 plates. So they have 4 plates of like cheeseburgers, like fries, sodas, milkshakes, all kinds of stuff. And then there was 2 plates of like broccoli, salmon, like really good mashed potatoes, like good food. Good food. And the 3 monitors all get to choose a person to eat with them. Immediately, they were like, "Does anybody?" I was like, "Me, me, me." Immediately, I was like, I need that burger. I don't even, let me eat it right now. I'm so hungry. No one was mad about it. Everyone was like, "Give it to Drake. We know he's hungry. Like, please give it to him." Max is the one who like chose me. He was like, "All right, Drake, get up here." So I went on the stage and it was like a Big Mac too. Like I took a bite out of it. And I remember a tear went down my face because I was like, I enjoyed it so much. Like, I literally remember I would like start like tearing up and I started crying because I was so hungry. I didn't realize how hungry I was until I took a bite of that burger. It was the first thing I was like able to eat that whole time. And I ate my whole burger, all them fries. I drank my soda. Max gave me his milkshake. Oh, It was so good, and Max was complaining about the food too. He was like, "It's cold." I was like, "Mm-mm, 10 out of 10, best meal I've had." It was so good. But yeah, they didn't show that, but I don't know. I think they didn't want to show it because like I don't know. It makes it seem like I'm like they're starving me because I like literally was crying from eating a cheeseburger. Yeah, it was so good. I was so happy about it. So yeah, that did happen too.
That is funny as hell. Man, we need release the tapes, Netflix. I keep
I
saying
know.
this.
Show us.
Release
I
the
want to see it.
tapes. I need to see it. Well, soon the monitors do have to leave and they enter this other room and they soon have to pick 3 other players to go in another room. And now it's time for them to duke it out and they get their task of having to self-sacrifice someone. And so you guys see some of this on display in the dorms. Tell me from your POV how it was when you saw what was going down.
Well, yeah, because like they left, and then like randomly 3 players left too. They were like, we need these 3 players to the kitchen or wherever they took them. So I already knew something bad was happening. I was like, this is like this is bad because they're gone. Those 3 are gone. Those 3 are gone. I was like, someone's getting eliminated, guaranteed. And then they popped up on the screen. I was like, oh, this is gonna be so bad. Like I was stressed, but I was like also relieved because I wasn't a part of that. I knew I wasn't a part of that, so it was kind of nice to sit back and watch it. But also it was kind of sad because like I was like, oh, like there was certain people up there I didn't want to go home, but also there was people that I wouldn't care went home. So I was like, okay, let's just see what happens. But yeah, no, it was crazy for sure. And it's cool that they actually showed us and we get to watch it. We didn't watch it all. We didn't see what happened until they walked back in. But yeah,
Yeah, that was crazy. They cut the TV off on y'all.
hmm
Turn this TV off, Kendrick Lamar settings.
yeah,
And y'all get back. They come back, so it's Isaiah 410 and
hey,
327 Kate coming back. And so when you see them 2 come back, are you happy or are you like whatever?
yeah, because at like I was like I sat right next to Isaiah too, so I was friends with Isaiah. So I was like, oh dang, like Isaiah's back. And I talked to Kate a little bit, but not too much. But I was sad because Max is the one who gave me the burger. So I was like, no, Max is eliminated. So I was sad about that. But yeah, I mean, like 098 wasn't there anymore because he was on the other team. So I was like, oh, kind of a win. It's kind of a win, you know?
He's like, I'm tired of you, coach. You gotta
I
go.
said, well,
And
you have to go.
so they come back and they have to pick a new monitor and they pick 409 Claire and she is
Yep,
the
the
new
cute
monitor
clone.
and she gets an undercover mission. Basically, she gets these coins. She gets the coin and the coin is to eliminate someone. Do you ever find out about this coin?
No, I didn't even know about that. So literally, I knew she got the monitor. I was like, sweet, nice. But I don't want to be a monitor anymore, anyways, because after what just happened, I was like, I'm not trying to be a part of that. But yeah, I thought it was cool. I was like, sweet. But then, like, the morning of, like, obviously, they're like, someone's been eliminated. Didn't even know she was involved at all. I was like, what? I was like, what happens? Like, what did I miss? Because there's so much going on at all times. I was like, when did someone get eliminated? Like, had
Wait,
no
you missed
idea.
the elimination?
No, I was there, but, like but whenever they told us someone's been eliminated, but before we knew who it was, like,
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
when did this happen? Like, when did they, like who eliminated who? Like, when could it? Because I felt like I saw everyone in the dorms pretty much the whole time. So I didn't know, like, who did it or when it happened. I assumed it was me. I don't know why. I was like, I'm out of here. I'm done. Because I was like, I barely talked to anybody. I'm out of here.
I'm crying. This man was sitting in the corner thinking about cheeseburgers.
I was like, I want another one.
Week. Well, it is Isaiah that is eliminated, not you. So you are still in the game at this point against your own will, apparently.
Hey, no, I was there happy at that point.
Okay, I don't know. I can't tell at this point. It's like he's holding you hostage or something like that. I can't tell. But yes, how did you feel when you saw Isaiah get eliminated?
Was shocked. I was very surprised because I thought Isaiah was well liked. Come to turn out, like a lot of people didn't like Isaiah, but I didn't find out till afterwards. Like after Clara made her little speech and told us like basically went into detail about like what Isaiah was saying and whatnot, and people like didn't like him. I know Emily didn't like him, so I was like, dang, like I didn't know. So I thought Isaiah was I thought he was a genuine person at the time. So I was like, dang, like that's crazy. Like I didn't know like how he was playing the game, but Claire like pretty much told us everything. So it was wild to find out like that was happening. But I didn't think it was gonna be Isaiah for even a second, to be honest.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And, it's going to get even crazier when I talk to Claire about that.
Let's find out.
Hey, I already talked to Isaiah. If you want the tea, go to that podcast episode because it was good.
No, I know he's mad. I know he was mad.
Hey, that was a podcast for the ages. That's all I'm saying.
That's so funny.
But soon, you guys go back into the white room. It's the next time for the next game to start, and you see a variety of colored vests, and everyone 327 and 409 must pick the two teams for the next game. So they start picking everybody, you, and you, and you. And it's left with everyone but you. How you feel being left out?
I don't know, like, I think as they started choosing people, I just knew. I was like, "I'm not getting chosen," because I was close with Emily. And then she was like, "We're choosing friends." I was like, "Okay, bet." Like, I think they might choose me and Emily together because we were like, we literally sat next to each other. We were like friends at that point, like, you know, and we talked like pretty much the entire time. So like, I was like, "Oh, I bet." Like, that's gonna happen. And then she chose her and Justin. So I was like, "Oh, dang, that would have been my person." I think. So I didn't think they were gonna pair me up with anybody else because they were going by friends. So, yeah, so I was like, "Dang, I'm cooked." That's it. I
Friends.
just wrap it up. And then like, yeah, that's what she says. But yeah, I don't know. Like that happens, and then I was left by myself, and her excuse was like, I didn't have kids. Like Chris has kids, you don't. Like I was like, that's kind of a cop out. Just like I don't know, just say you don't like me, or just say like, because me and Kate, we actually had our morning routines where we walk around, we did yoga together, we had some good conversations. So I thought we were friends, and then she did that. I was like, dang, blindsided, blindsided. Yeah.
Kate, what's up, Kate? The morning walks didn't mean nothing to you, Kate?
I
What's
know the morning
up?
walks, it'd be me and her. We'd be walking around and we'd be chatting about life. I think she found out I didn't have kids, so she was like, "Nah, you don't got kids. I don't want you here."
You said I got cats though.
I said, "I got 4 cats. Yep. Those are my kids. What you mean?"
But
Yeah,
not good enough, not good enough. And
yeah,
so you're left without, but then the guard or voice above announces you can select a player and take their place in the next game.
yep.
And so how was your train of thought when it comes to that and why and
So
you're making
yeah,
your decision?
so I've had a lot of questions about that too. Alright, sweet. But yeah, so basically, my whole thought process was for one, I basically they didn't show it, but I asked. I was like, "Does anybody want to switch places with me?" Because I don't want to choose anyone. I was like, "Anybody, whoever wants to switch with me can switch with me." Because to be honest, I didn't think whoever I switched with was going to be eliminated. I did not think that because if they were going to eliminate someone, they would have just eliminated me right then and there. I feel like so they had something up their sleeve. So I was like, whoever I switch with, like I don't think is getting eliminated. First off, and obviously nobody said anything. Nobody wanted to switch. So I was like, okay, okay. So I started thinking about I wasn't thinking about who I wanted to like switch places with. I started thinking about who I wanted to be partners with. So the way I went about it was like um I like scanned the room, like started looking at people who I thought I'd be good with. I came to Mackenzie and I was like, oh, like I felt like Mackenzie was very level headed, very just like full. She was never playing like a sleazy, like sneaky game. And I thought we'd be like good partners. So like that's why I went towards that direction. Cause I was like, I think me and Mackenzie was always nice to me too. So like I was like, I think we'd be good partners because we didn't know what the game was. Didn't know what the game was. I didn't know what like our we'd have to do with our partners or whatever. So I was like, I'm gonna just choose somebody that I know like is trustworthy, basically. So I chose Mackenzie because of that. But Trinity was her partner, so that's why me and Trinity switched. And obviously, I said like I think I said something like maybe we had the least amount of chats or whatever to Trinity, but like me and Trinity actually did talk a lot. But I just like I didn't want to say like my reasoning for like why like I'm trying to choose this partner because of this, but I just swapped with him. But even me and Mackenzie were like, nah, he's not getting eliminated. There's no like he's not. We knew that he wasn't going home. Yeah, me and Trinity hugged it out. He went and stood over there. You know, we and it's funny because like we went out the white room and we wrapped back around and went back into the white room to eat before the game. And Trinity wasn't in there anymore. So I was like, oh, guaranteed safe because there's no way they would have eliminated him without an audience or like by himself in a white like and he just like walked out. So I was like, he's safe somewhere. They just didn't show us, but he's safe. And what I thought was either going to happen, either he completely gets to skip the game, or he has to like do what Jonty and them did, which was like vote on a player to get through so he can get through. That's what I thought was going to happen. So I definitely didn't think he was going to be eliminated. But yeah, so that's basically my whole like thought process on that.
Yeah, man. Look, they gave him a free a go pass and received $200 basically. And
Right?
you
I said,
know,
why didn't you just give that to me? I was the one left out.
I know that's crazy how they did you like that. They was
I
like,
know they
look,
said,
you want to
listen, nah,
go
you
home?
playing.
We give you a chance to go home.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You got them tight. They're like, we don't know if he gonna last. So yeah, it's funny. It's actually funny because you let Trinity switch and you got and like he kind of did what you was trying to do.
He ended up doing the exact same thing. I said, "Bruh, I know you lying right now."
No, they're like, "Dang, what happened? We wouldn't have y'all switch if this was the outcome."
I know, right? Crazy.
Man, well, you get picked and you are swapping places with him, and you soon go into the game, and it is Slides and Ladders Candyland knockoff version or whatever, you know. Maybe they
Yeah.
do have a real board game of this game, whatever. But yeah, Slides and Ladders, you roll dice, go up these ladders, down the slides, get to the top, you make it through. Top six teams make it through. So when you get inside and you see it, what are you thinking when you see it all?
I knew immediately, like, I mean, I saw the slides and ladders, so I knew, like, what the game was, like, essentially. I didn't know, like, all the rules or anything yet, but I was like, "Oh, this is like shoots and ladders or something." And I've played the board game before, so I was like, I'm pretty familiar with what it is. We'll probably just, and I saw the dice. I was like, "We're rolling the dice. This is definitely like a big board game or whatever." It looked amazing. The set was amazing. So I was like, very excited. But yeah, I mean, I was just I didn't know what to expect, but like I was like, "Oh, we're on teams. We're probably rolling it together." And we're probably just gonna go across this board and see who gets to the end or whatever. Like it seemed pretty self-explanatory just by looking at it, to be honest.
Yeah, self-explanatory, and you get the rules and you know what's popping, and it's time to get started. And so, the game gets started, and we get a little drama at the beginning between
Yeah.
Perla and our friend 183.
Even
And so, what's your perspective on their drama?
so to be honest, like I was very because I didn't know because they were gonna choose me originally because I remember Perla was like choose Aqua or like choose me, and Zoe was like I can't because I love Drake. So I was so happy. I didn't even know she stood up for me like that because I until I watched it. I was like, dang, it's Zoe. She got my back because I had her back in Mingo. So like that's like I was in their room in Mingo. So like I think that's what like made her want to like protect me from that situation. So like obviously they chose Steven and Kevin, and then they got limited. Like I understand why Steven was mad, like, I understand, like, because, he's basically doing to you what you did to him. But I do think he was being a little bit more like, I don't know. I think he was definitely doing the most with it and being like making slide comments and stuff he didn't need to do. Cause like it is a game and they do have to choose somebody. And that's just gonna have to be what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're still here, whatever. But like I think he held the grudge a little too long, in my opinion.
Okay, well, he was holding them grudges because he had to get back for the homies, man. He had to
Yeah,
get
for
back. So
Kevin.
I definitely can understand where he's
Yeah.
coming from in that situation. And so soon, you guys, it's your turn to go again, and you guys land on a slide. It's time to
Yeah, we
slide. And
did.
so when you get up on that slide and you have to pick, tell me how you guys kind of go through the deliberation.
Yeah, so immediately, I already knew I was going on the slide. I knew, because for one, I wasn't about to let Mackenzie like do that because for one, I'm the one who swapped with her partner. I'm the one who like, I just felt like it was and like Mackenzie's my friend. I'm not gonna make her do it. I'm gonna take the risk. It's a 50-50 shot. Either I get it or I don't. I made it this far. I haven't taken a risk really, so I was like, let me take a risk. Whatever. Obviously, but I did take the risk, and I basically told her, I was like, "Whatever happens, like, go down the other side. Like, if mine's wrong, go down the other side. You got this. Like, you're gonna make it out. You're gonna be fine because at least we'll know like with this slide. Like, if I'm out, then we know like with this one which one to pick every time. So yeah, pretty much it. Like, I was pretty content. I think like I went up to the slide and I just went down. I immediately knew I died. Immediately knew because I went down and I went, I turned to the right. I said, "Oh, I'm not going back towards the board game at all." So I went excited for a bit. I was like, "Oh," like for a bit. And then I landed on a mat. And there was like a group of producers around me. And they were all applauding, cheering. And then like I was obviously overwhelmed because I just died. And then they stood me up and they were like, "Picture, picture." And they like, took a picture of me. Then they shoved the pizza in my face. They said, "Here, food." And then like guided me out the room. And it's actually funny because I talked to Mackenzie and I didn't even know this, but she said that she knew I died because she could hear the producers applauding. She could hear them below, like cheering for me. So she knew I was out before they even announced it. So I thought that was funny. Yeah, no, yeah, I took the risk. It didn't pay off for me, but I was happy that Mackenzie was still in the game at least.
The game for an hour or two.
Yeah.
Shout out
Yeah, and
Mackenzie.
then
Shout out Mackenzie.
shout out Mackenzie. But then obviously, I went to my MIV. I recorded like a MIV or whatever, or a couple MIVs, and then I came back to the room, like I guess the waiting room after the game. We had to go back and film some stuff for the slides. So we had to go back and film us going down the slides to get some more shots, screaming down the slides. They had to like 3D render my face for the stunt double to like do the fall because obviously we didn't really fall. But yeah, so I had to do all that. So I had to go back and film some more, anyways. When I came back after my MIV, I saw Emily, Dustin, and Mackenzie, the three people I tried to save. All because I gave the orange team the advantage to get all the way to the top. So I thought for sure they were gonna get through. For sure. And I did it for Emily. I was like, Emily, you got this. You're gonna get through. I'm sending you to the top. Every person I tried to save got eliminated. I was like, damn. So basically I did nothing. I did nothing.
And coach, the blessings didn't bless them enough, you know? You should have I don't know
Yep.
what else you could have did, but
But at
you
least
did
Trinity was safe, and I knew that because he wasn't in the waiting room.
facts, man, facts. Your whole alliance just came down with you, the rest of them
Yeah.
at least.
Dang. I
So
must be bad karma. I don't know.
I mean, you made it far. So I want to say, that's unfortunately where you leave, but congratulations. You did amazing in the game. You made it super, super far, dang near to the last game. So you should be proud of yourself for how you performed and you overcame your own trials and tribulations and kept your head in the game and kept moving as long as you could. So with that, I give you all the props and kudos in the world, man. And
Thank you.
it'll be the story to tell for the ages.
Oh yeah,
So
I
definitely.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, of course. And so once you get back to the hotel, tell me how you feeling now.
I mean, obviously, like, I think, like, the what ifs start coming into play, like, "Oh, what if I did this, or what if I did that?" You start overthinking things, I think. I didn't get my phone back yet because I got back to the hotel. We basically had to sleep there that night. I had to go back to the studio the next day to like, film my exit interview, all my MIVs, all the stuff that didn't get shown. I had to film all that stuff, and so I wasn't really, like, connected back to reality yet. I think into the next night when I got my phone, and I turned it on, and it was overwhelming. I, like, called my wife. We cried. There's a lot of emotions, But yeah, I mean, I was excited to go home, to be honest. I was like, you know what? I got far. I played the game I wanted to play. I was myself the whole time. I never did anything sleazy. I never like I always just tried to help my friends and, be myself and play the game truthfully, whatever. Like that's how I wanted to play my game. That's how I did it. So yeah, I felt very good about my game, what I did. And I was just excited, like excited to go home. I remember I found Sam, I called her and she was freaking out. She was like, "What?" She was like, "What? Why are you out of the game?" She was mad at me. She was like, "You're supposed to win. We're supposed to split that money." So funny. But yeah, I don't know. I would say it took an adjustment for me to get back into life, of course. Like I got home and it was a lot at first. You try to talk to your like family and friends about it, but like they weren't there, so they don't really understand. So you kind of like try to lean on the people who are in it with you, and that did help. Obviously they had the therapy stuff because they always had the wellness checks and whatnot, and they would like talk to you about everything. But I don't know, it took me a bit. It took me a long, like a couple of weeks to even get my like appetite fully back to like eat again. That took a while. I think my stomach just shrunk from me not eating. It took me a bit to like get back to eating. I don't know why. Like I don't know. Other than that, like I started working again. I got back into a routine. I was chilling.
Yeah, man. Well, good, good. I'm glad, you're able to get everything back together kind of smoothly and whatnot. And, it helps, like I said, I always say to talk to the players I was in the game after. That's the therapy in itself. I don't need a therapist when I can talk to y'all because we
Exactly.
can we can help each other out mentally and emotionally with the trauma that we just did. And, without that being there, then it would have been hell. But thankfully, those people were there for you. And I think it's a beautiful thing, especially with you being able to form such a great friendship with 352. I snooped your Instagram, coach. So, like, I snooped it all. And so I know y'all been, like, popping outside. Does she live in North Carolina too?
No, she lives in New York, but we've met up a couple of times over the summer. Like we've obviously at the Philly event. Like we've been meeting up and like just chilling, like making TikToks. We made a bunch like over the summer and like, back in like May and like earlier in the year. And we've been saving them, so I've been posting them like a little bit. But we made a bunch of like content already just for like the post for like Squid Game, but we couldn't post it until now, obviously. So it seems
Hmm.
like we're hanging out every day, but I've only seen her like once since the show's come out.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. Yeah. I saw you guys at the Philly in the reunion. It was awesome and
Yep.
whatnot.
It
And
was
so,
awesome.
well, cool, man. Well, I had to ask too. So, what do you think is your biggest lesson or takeaway from being a part of Squid Game: The Challenge season 2?
Yeah, I mean, I think because obviously I do theater, I'm a very outgoing person, but like I would consider myself to be very introverted, to be honest. I'm such a stay-at-home person, such a, you know, I know I probably seem like I'm very outgoing, which when I talk to people like I like and I like match with good, like of course like I come on my show a lot easier, but I think in that environment, it just taught me to like really just, put myself out there and people will either like me or not like me, and that's okay. And like, I was able to like get out of that introverted side and force myself to have those conversations. Like I would literally go around and just join groups and be like, "Hey, what's up, yo? Like I'm Drake, whatever." Like, and I don't do that in life, people don't do that, and it's such a weird experience because like no one's on their phones. It's all that's what I think that's why we got so close so fast because no one's on their phones. We're all getting to know each other like for real, and like we're there for hours and hours and hours, sleeping in the same place. Like, so I would say like it definitely like helped me I think just like being more present in life too. Not being all just like on my phone 24/7 like how I used it. Because yeah, of course I'm still on my phone like to do all this stuff, but I definitely like try to spend more time off my phone and like more present in conversations and just like with people now. Now that I've had that experience, I know how much I loved it too. So I'm like, wow, that's actually like a great side of like, getting to do that. You get to disconnect from the world basically and just get to know people. So definitely a great takeaway.
Yeah, man, definitely, definitely. I love to hear that as well, and I can wholeheartedly agree with all the sentiments. So, since you work with kids, have any of them said anything about the show to you?
Yeah, I mean, some of them have seen it because I mean, I work with like ages 5 to 12, but even 5-year-olds are being like, I watched the Squid Game drama. I watched their parents don't care what they do. So, but yeah, like, some of them have seen the show. They think it's so cool. But I think it's funny because even before I told them I was in the show, like, kids are just obsessed with Squid Game. They're just obsessed with it. Like literally, they were doing the games in my classroom, like playing Glass Bridge and like doing the cookie game and like just doing all the games. Like they would like make up games to play. They were doing Mingo. I don't even know how. It was honestly traumatized. I was like, let's not play this right now. I don't want to do this. But but yeah, no, they literally be playing like all the games. They love Thanos, like all the lore. But I don't think they quite understand what it is because like when they found out I was on it, they were like, "Did you meet Thanos? Did you meet 456?" Like, no, it's a different. It's not the drama. It's not the like TV show. It's not scripted. It's like a reality show. But a lot of them don't understand the concept of that, so they just think I'm on Squid Game. But I think it's funny. It's pretty cool.
That's funny, man. Well, that's awesome. I love to hear that, and just play with it, they kids, so
Yeah, exactly.
I used to be a teacher, so I understand. I mean,
Yeah,
they start running their mouths and asking silly questions and whatnot, but
yeah,
that's cool, man. That's awesome. So, it was great to get to talk to you. I'm sorry we had some technical difficulties along
yeah.
the
No worries,
way,
man. No worries. It was great
but
talking to you too, man. It was awesome.
man,
This is probably like the first podcast I've done. Maybe it's the one and only because
because you try to self-sabotage. I guess real quick, I haven't asked anybody this question yet on the
yeah.
podcast. How do you feel about Trinity's self-eviction? This man's holding
Like
himself back.
I don't
I
know.
already know
I
the
I was
answer.
Of course, I respect Trinity, and like I think he's a great guy, and he just made a video too about his reasoning. I haven't watched it yet, but I just feel like if you're that close, because even me, like, of course, at one point I wanted to self sabotage too, so I get it. But if I was top five, there is no way in hell There's no way. There's no like I just wouldn't. I couldn't do it at that point. Like, there's your final game's tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, just stick it out at that point. And I guess he was like, well, like his reasoning was like they all have great stories. I feel like what 183 or whatever his number is, Steven. She didn't even have a story. Like he just basically was like, I'm a boring guy. I just here. And like, what about that did you connect with? You know what I mean? Like, and maybe if he had known that he was a millionaire, something probably would have been like, oh shoot, let me actually try. But I don't know. I definitely question like why he did it, and I think a lot of people are upset about it because they're like I don't know, like why? Just try, like you got this far, you deserve to be there just as much as everybody else. And I think it makes it seem like he didn't deserve to be there. That's how he made it sound, and it's like you do deserve to be here. That's why you're there. But I don't know.
Yeah, very, very strange. I mean, I was just getting your opinions based on a fellow player wanting to quit. So it's good
Yeah,
to hear that you wouldn't have left. I would not have left either.
yeah, no. There's no like if you're that far, you just like
You
suck
gotta
it up.
go.
Like at that point, I'm like, I'm going home tomorrow either way. I'm gonna stay because I
Yeah.
mingle. I think I was just very overwhelmed and there was a lot going on. But like, I think if I was at that point, I don't. I'm thinking about the money at that point.
Yeah, and the money's right in front of your face. I mean, you could basically touch it at that point.
Yeah,
And,
Exactly.
once you're in the tuxes, it's time to get on and just leaving like that, reasons beside belief. I mean, he said himself, if you got at the finale, if you guys vote me back, I promise I won't do this again. So it sounds like he had some second thoughts himself
I think he
after
definitely
all
has
this.
regret.
Yeah, after all this time has passed, you wouldn't say that. You would stand 10 toes down. And I thought that's what he would do, but he did not. And so once he said that, I'm just,
Yeah.
it's too
He
late,
should have
man.
doubled down on it, like you said. Like, he should have just been
He
like,
should.
I did that, and that's why I did. But now, yeah, but like, I did see that too. And he was like, I'm gonna be cutthroat next time. I'm like, that completely just changes the character of what you were in that. So it almost feels like a front, kind of, because like, if you're gonna be cutthroat the second, like on the second time you go, then I don't know. It's like, then that persona you had for the first season wasn't your real persona, because then you're easily can switch to be cutthroat. So I don't know. It's definitely something to think about.
Yeah, it was strange. Maybe he thought it would be a different reception. And then I mean, the reception happened right then and there. So, like, people saw it was live. So I don't think he saw the reception that people got. But I think once he told his maybe friends and family about what happened, then they were probably like, why? And then that maybe had the clarity because, you're away from everybody. So you have to talk with yourself about these things. And he only had conversations with himself. Obviously, he didn't tell anybody else. And
Yeah.
so once it's reality and he got home and he maybe said to mom or dad or his girl, like, this is what I did. They're like, huh? Wait, what? You got out
Yeah.
how? And then he's like, oh, well, at the moment I thought, and at the moment, yes, maybe whatever, who knows? But no, coach, if that was
I don't think
me,
I I don't think
oh,
I could have I don't know. I
I
would
could.
have a hard time sleeping at night knowing that like if I had just stayed in the games and like, he was number 2, so he would have made it past that game either way. I like almost guarantee he would have made it past that game because he was the second one to choose. So he had 3 other chances to get through. I think he would have made it to red light, green
He
light, and then
technically had he Yeah, he technically was 5 and 4 were the same positions essentially. Like they had to play the same amount of times. So he was in the
yeah,
best position. So he definitely would have
made it.
made it. He definitely would have made it. So no. But
Yeah,
guess we'll never know.
we'll never know. Everything
We'll
happens
never
for a
know.
reason. Congrats,
Exactly.
Perla.
Yeah, congratulations, Perla. And thank you, Drake, again for joining me. If the people want to keep up with your journey, where can they find you?
I mean, on Instagram, TikTok. My name is Vintagebrawns on there. Yeah.
Vintage Bronze. Make sure y'all follow that. And once again, Drake, I appreciate you coming on the podcast and giving your side of the story and hearing your story. It's very interesting. One of the most interesting ones I've heard so far. So thank you so much for sharing that with me. And great to meet you previously in Philly. Hope I get to see you again
Yeah,
in my
man.
travels because I be traveling all over the place. And yeah, I like your vibe a lot, man. And I'm always rooting for you. So
Thank you, man.
definitely,
And I appreciate you having me. It was a great time. And yeah, well, we'll catch up again. I'm sure we'll see each other again. I'm sure.
I hope so. I hope so. Well, to everybody else back at home, thank you for joining. Peace, blessings, deuces, and have a great rest of your day.